The James Webb Space Telescope is the largest, most powerful space telescope ever built. It will allow scientists to look at what our universe was like about 200 million years after the Big Bang. The telescope will be able to capture images of some of the first galaxies ever formed. It will also be able to observe objects in our solar system from Mars outward, look inside dust clouds to see where new stars and planets are forming, and examine the atmospheres of planets orbiting other stars. Stay tuned in this video. We will discuss the James Webb Space Telescope, so make sure to watch this video to the end. Let's check it out. The Webb telescope is as tall as a 3-story building and a tennis court. It is so big that it must fold origami style to fit inside the rocket to launch. The telescope will unfold, sunshield first, once in space. The James Webb Space Telescope sees the universe in light that is invisible to human eyes. This light is called infrared radiation, and we can feel it as heat. Firefighters use infrared cameras to see and rescue people through the smoke in a fire. The James Webb Space Telescope will use its infrared cameras to see through dust in our universe. Stars and planets form inside those dust clouds, so peeking inside could lead to exciting newly discoveries. It will also be able to see objects, like the first galaxies, that are so far away that the expansion of the universe has made their light shift from visible to infrared. The Webb telescope's cameras are sensitive to heat from the sun. Just like you might wear a hat or a visor to block the sun from your eyes, Webb has a sun shield its instruments and mirrors. The telescope's sun shield is the size of a tennis court. The temperature difference between the sun-facing and shaded sides of the telescope is more than 600 degrees Fahrenheit. Space telescopes see by using mirrors to collect and focus light from distant stars. The bigger the mirror, the more details the telescope can see. It's very difficult to launch a giant, heavy mirror into space. So engineers gave the Webb telescope 18 smaller mirrors that fit together like a puzzle. The mirrors fold up inside the rocket, then unfold to form one large mirror in orbit. Our solar system isn't the only home for planets. Scientists have discovered thousands of planets orbiting stars other than our Sun. These are called exoplanets. The James Webb Space Telescope will help to study the atmospheres of exoplanets. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is an infrared space observatory that launched on Deck 25, 2021. From ESA's launch site at Kourou in French Guiana at 7:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12:20 GMT, 9:20 a.m. local time in Kourou, aboard an Arianespace Ariane 5 rocket. It is the largest and most powerful space telescope to date. NASA released the first scientific images from Webb at a live event on July 12, 2022. Explore the first images in more detail and what it means for JWST science. The $10 billion James Webb Space Telescope will probe the cosmos to uncover the history of the universe from the Big Bang to exoplanet formation and beyond. It is one of NASA's great observatories, huge space instruments that include the likes of the Hubble Space Telescope that peer deep into the cosmos. It took just 30 days for the James Webb Space Telescope to travel nearly 1 million miles, 1.5 million kilometers, to its permanent home, Lagrange Point 2, a gravitationally stable location in space. The telescope arrived at L2, the second Sun-Earth Lagrange point, on January 24, 2022. L2 is a spot in space near Earth that lies opposite the Sun. This orbit will allow the telescope to stay in line with Earth as it orbits the Sun. It has been a popular spot for several other space telescopes, including the Herschel Space Telescope and the Planck Space Observatory. According to NASA, the James Webb Space Telescope will focus on 4 main areas: the first light in the universe, the assembly of galaxies in the early universe, the birth of stars and protoplanetary systems and planets, including the origins of life. On July 11, 2022, NASA announced that all 17 of the observatory's scientific instrument modes had been fully vetted and that the James Webb Space Telescope was ready to begin its epic science mission. The powerful James Webb Space Telescope will take amazing photos of celestial objects like its predecessor, the Hubble Space Telescope. Luckily for astronomers, the Hubble Space Telescope remains in good health, and the two telescopes will probably work together for JWST's first years. GOST will also look at exoplanets previously identified by the Kepler Space Telescope and follow up on real-time observations from ground space telescopes. The James Webb Space Telescope is the product of an impressive international collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. According to NASA, the JWST involved over 300 universities, organizations, and companies across 29 U.S. states and 14 countries. The nominal duration for the James Webb Space Telescope is 5 years, but the goal is 10 years according to ESA. Where is the James Webb Space Telescope? The James Webb Space Telescope is currently located at L2, the second Sun-Earth Lagrange point. L2 is a spot in space near Earth that lies opposite the Sun. You can keep track of Webb in more detail with NASA's Where is Webb website. An impressive HD video captured the observatory flying away from the Ariane 5 rocket that carried it into space. The 3-minute video shows Webb slowly drifting away from its rocket stage and unfurling its solar panels. The James Webb Space Telescope deployed and tested a key antenna on December 26, 2021, in a process that took about 1 hour, according to a NASA statement. The antenna will be responsible for twice-daily science data dumps to Earth. Just a day later, on December 27, the observatory sailed beyond the orbit of the Moon. On December 31, 2021, Webb successfully unfurled its massive sunshield. The tensioning of the sunshield's 5 layers began on Jan 3, 2022, and was completed the next day. The telescope's secondary mirror was then successfully deployed and latched on January 5, 2022. Then on Jan 8, 2022, NASA announced that the James Webb Space Telescope had successfully unfolded the giant primary mirror and is now fully deployed. The next step for Webb is the alignment of the 18 individual mirrors that make up the observatory's primary mirror. NASA estimates the work could take up to 120 days after launch for the alignment to be complete. The James Webb Space Telescope reached its final destination, L2, the second Sun-Earth Lagrange point, which it will orbit, on Jan 24, 2022 after traveling nearly 1 million miles, 1.5 million kilometers. The James Webb Space Telescope's first science images were officially released by NASA during a live event on July 12 at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 14:30 GMT. They included the cosmic cliffs in the Carina Nebula, the striking Southern Ring Nebula, Stephan's Quintet, and an analysis of the atmospheric composition of the hot gas giant exoplanet WASP 96 bits. A day earlier, on July 11, 2022, President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and NASA Administrator Bill Nelson unveiled the first science quality image captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. The stunning image shows the deepest infrared view of the universe to date, according to a NASA statement, and was created using just 12.5 hours of observing time on one of the telescope's 4 instruments. Before the first image and data release, Webb had already treated us to several impressive images during its instrument checks. On Feb 11, NASA announced that the James Webb Space Telescope had captured its first images of starlight. The first image taken by Webb was of a star called HD 84406. Light from HD 84406 was captured by Webb's 18 mirror segments located on the primary mirror, resulting in a mosaic of 18 scattered bright dots. On Feb 18, NASA released a new and improved image of HD 84406, bringing 18 unfocused copies of a star into a deliberate hexagonal formation. Once the observatory has successfully aligned the individual segments of the primary mirror, it will begin the image stacking process. This will bring 18 images on top of each other into one clear view. Webb has also taken an impressive selfie using a specialized camera inside the NIRCam instrument. The camera is designed to be used for engineering and alignment purposes. On April 28, NASA announced in a statement that the James Webb Space Telescope had finished its alignment phase after demonstrating it can capture crisp, well-focused images with all 4 of its scientific instruments. On July 11, 2022, President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris and NASA Administrator Bill Nelson unveiled the first science quality image captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. The stunning image shows the deepest infrared view of the universe to date, according to a NASA statement, and was created using just 12.5 hours of observing time on one of the telescope's 4 instruments. James Webb Space Telescope vs. Hubble Space Telescope. Scientific advancement is all about standing on the shoulders of giants, and the JWST will do just that, as its scientific goals were motivated by the results from the Hubble Space Telescope. The 2 space telescopes have different capabilities. Whilst Hubble primarily observed the cosmos in optical and ultraviolet wavelengths, with some infrared capabilities, the JWST will primarily look at the universe in infrared. Due to the expansion of the universe, light from distant objects shifts to longer wavelengths at the redder end of the spectrum, known as redshifted, according to ESA. The JWST will observe this infrared light in detail and shed light on some of the oldest stars and galaxies in the universe. Another big difference between the James Webb Space Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope is that JWST will orbit the Sun, whilst Hubble orbits Earth. JWST will be too far away to be serviced, unlike Hubble, which was accessed and serviced by space shuttle missions. So hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more videos like this one. We will see you in the next video. Thank you.